Good morning, everyone!
I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed this Hump Day Wednesday.
Hello there, I am Anne Asis-Carilo. Another brand new day, and we are here to keep you informed and inspired.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Join us in the next hour for stories and conversations that matter. And speaking of stuff that matter, I could not sleep last night because I'm so anxious because of the U.S. elections.
Yeah, that's the biggest news happening today for sure.
Yeah.
The polls are open, people are
Yes.
voting, and of course, I think it's safe to say that we will be impacted by this, whether we like it or not.
That's right, that's right. It will affect us Filipinos, especially the Filipino community there in the U.S. And do they see the tallies already?
They can. I think they can.
Yeah, but
But it's
it'll
still
take
too
a while.
early.
It'll take a while, even if a few states have come in. It'll
It's
take
only,
a while.
I think it's closing soon in a couple hours. It's only like 6 p.m. there ngayon.
But you can just imagine how anxious they feel when they're seeing all those numbers.
Yeah,
And like
and,
they're waiting for
I
their
haven't
bets
checked
to
my
win.
phone because I'm so nervous. Like I literally could not sleep last night. I think I only slept 2 hours.
Oh, man.
So,
Okay. Oh, thinking about the elections?
yes, I'm so nervous. I'm so anxious.
Yeah, I mean, like, again, to all our kababayans in the United States right now, of course, those going out to vote, especially the Philam community there, you know, we're going to try and reach out, actually, to the Philam community later on in the show as we try and get the pulse on what's happening in the United States.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oo, pero Ann, it's like, it's such big theater, no? Yung political scene sa United States, just watching all of it happen.
Yeah, you know what? Not just in the United States, even here,
Yeah.
when there's a presidential elections, it's really like a big moment for everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
has their own bets, and of course they want their bet to win. So they're watching the polls, and they're seeing the numbers, and all you can do is just wait.
I mean, elections in general are nerve-wracking, but I
Yes.
think this one in particular, because of the characters at play,
Yes.
that's why it's even bigger.
But you know, the one thing that always happens during the elections, which I always find really funny, is when animals start to predict who would win.
Listen, I don't know why they put the poor voiceless animals and make them predict.
Yeah, I mean, like, in fact, we're gonna have a prediction from Mudeng later on.
Not me, guys.
The favorite
Mudeng.
pygmy hippo of the world at the moment later on. But first, let's get on to some serious business. Let's take a look at the weather here for today. Several places in Luzon are under signal number 2 due to Typhoon Marce. Signal number 2 is up in the eastern portion of Babuyan Islands and the northeastern portion of mainland Cagayan. Signal number 1 is hoisted over provinces such as Batanes, the rest of Cagayan, including the Babuyan Islands, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Apayao, Abra, and Mountain Province. As of 5 a.m., Pag-asa says Typhoon Marce was last spotted east of Tuguegarao City in Cagayan. State forecasters explain the typhoon might make landfall or pass close to the Babuyan Islands or the northern portion of mainland Cagayan by Thursday afternoon or early Friday morning. Pag-asa expects Typhoon Marce to exit the country's weather monitoring area by Friday evening. Tune into Weather HQ later on. Balik muna sa akin.
Yes, please.
Tune into Weather HQ later on at 9 a.m. for updates on Typhoon Marce, only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Your weather job. Watch
I'm
out,
sorry,
Paolo.
man. That's not my intention at all. But right now, let's take a look at the roads at this hour. We have live footage from EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screen, we are seeing vehicles going to Quiapo. On the right side are vehicles headed to the Quezon Memorial Circle. So northbound, no problem there at all. Those heading to Manila, to Quiapo, you're seeing a bit of a buildup already. So it would be nice to maybe like leave your homes early to avoid unnecessary delays. Now let's check out the situation along Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City, where I pass every day. On the left side of vehicles going to Sandigan Bayan. On the right side are the vehicles headed to the Quezon Memorial Circle. Traffic's already building up. Seeing a lot of motorcycles right there. So please do drive safe and have a great day on the road.
I miss the holidays. The
Parang
traffic's been
napagod ka
so
sa traffic,
bad.
no?
You know, because I pass through Commonwealth every day, and I really
Yeah.
have to, like leave early to
Yeah.
avoid that traffic
Grabe.
situation.
I know, I was watching it and it's insane. I don't know how you do it every day. Anyway, let's talk some happy news. An automobile distributor and a ride-hailing company team up to help commuters navigate their way with the Christmas season fast approaching. Our mobility correspondent, G. Baroga, gives us the details.
MG Philippines, through its Malabon dealership, signs a memorandum of understanding with new ride-hailing service Pickup, providing commuters with more options.
This cooperation is really developing a new business model of the transportation. So it is really a very advanced business model and also bring a lot of benefit for the passengers in the Philippine market.
Ang objective naman namin, mabigyan ng choice ang Pilipinos. No? Binuo namin to para sa kapwa namin Pilipino.
The MG4 pure electric hatchback will be utilized for this partnership, named Pickup Blue. The companies aim to roll out an initial 20 units from a target of over 2,000 within 1 to 2 years.
MG4 is one of the best-seller EV model globally for MG. The choice of the MG4 to have this business is really because this product is a reliable product and a globally designed best product.
One of the main highlights dito kasi ay yung sustainability. So makikita ng mga tao na makakasakay sila sa 100% electric vehicles. So hindi siya common na vehicle.
Currently, Pickup's services are limited to Luzon, but they plan to expand nationwide and even beyond the country soon. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
Big day today in the United States as the Americans vote to choose their next president today. It's a neck-to-neck battle between Democrat bet Kamala Harris and Republican candidate Donald Trump. The race has been rocked with multiple plot twists, including Trump surviving 2 assassination attempts and President Joe Biden's surprise withdrawal, leading to Harris's rapid rise. And the buildup has been unpredictable, leading to Election Day itself. With early voters already in, experts say these numbers may not be a good indicator of the winner just yet. This as vote counting rules and quirks in several key states are still in consideration. Besides some warning against fake videos, U.S. officials see little disruption on the elections.
And not only are humans watching, but animals as well. My girl Mudeng, Thailand's famous baby hippo, takes a turn in predicting the next U.S. president. Mudeng was made to choose between 2 fruit baskets with the name of the presidential candidates. And the cute hippo chose Donald Trump. The Khao Kiao Zoo says Mudeng chose Trump's basket because it has more fruits. So it's not Mudeng's fault. Mudeng took the internet by storm this year, thanking her fans and thanks to her viral cute videos online.
Now, Mudeng may have picked Donald Trump, but U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris is the star of a new comic book. It's titled Political Power, Kamala Harris Road to the White House, which was released just this month. The comic book series takes a look at Harris's political career from being a deputy district attorney in California to vice president and her attempt at the Oval Office. Harris's running mate Tim Walz also got his own comic book series based on his career as a representative and eventually a governor of Minnesota.
Of course, Mudeng voting.
Is she even a U.S. citizen? She's Thai.
So I don't think they can count it, but then again, animals predicting has always been one of my favorite things.
It's really funny. Now I'm wondering what was inside Kamala Harris's box.
No, there's more fruits.
More fruits.
More
Allegedly.
fruits. Donald Trump. Yeah, that's why.
No, but animals predicting has always been a thing. I remember Paul the Octopus started it in the World Cup, I think 2006.
Paul the Octopus?
Paul the Octopus, because
Okay.
Paul the Octopus was right for most of the FIFA World Cup in
Ooh.
2006. And then he kept on predicting until 2014.
Wait, was
and
Paul
then
the Octopus in an aquarium?
Yes.
Okay,
So it's like a German aquarium. So
What did they make the octopus do?
the octopus would land on either of 2 boxes.
Ah,
So they at the
okay.
start of
Okay.
like the top of the aquarium, be placed into the top of car and then land on either two boxes. That's them picking.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway, animals choosing. I remember one of my Shih Tzus would also predict based on what they'd eat, and it would never work out. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot more when we return here on It's a Beautiful Day. We'll get to know about how content creating can become a profession and how this profession can contribute to a community. Don't go away. It's a Beautiful Day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. A new course at the Southeast Technological University in Carlisle, Ireland is teaching aspiring influencers how to turn social media fame into a career. Now, the 4-year degree in content creation and social media grew from the success of a summer course that saw overwhelming demand. Students learned to monetize platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, following in the footsteps of some stars who earn big from brand partnerships. With influencer culture booming, this program is shaping the next generation of digital entrepreneurs. Now, obviously, with all of that, we had to call in an expert, someone who does content creation for fun, but actually manages content creators as well. So, joining us today, Trixie Bugia. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Good morning.
All right, so let's start off first with the fact that, okay, we were talking a while ago, you make content creation for fun, that's your thing. You experiment, that's your little lab, but you also handle young content creators in this field.
Yes.
We saw that there's now a course
Yes.
on content creation. First of all, your thoughts on that, Muna?
I would actually take that course.
Really?
I do want to know like what they teach there because I mean, I was telling Paolo earlier that I took up advertising in university, and what I learned there was very traditional. And then when I started my work, everything that I learned was all digital. So I was like, oh, where's the commercial stuff? Where is the writing for radio ads? That wasn't there. So when I started my career, which is like more than a decade ago, there were already like bloggers. The word influencer wasn't even coined yet. So I was working a lot with bloggers, and then it started there. So I grew up with the industry, and it has changed since then. And I think they just started offering courses around 2014, 2015. But now I'm surprised that it's actually a full-blown degree. Yeah.
Oh, so we already have courses here in the Philippines.
Yeah, so there are like certifications, like certificate courses that you can take. It's mostly for digital marketing. So the content creation side of it is just like a part of that certificate course. But now I think they are focusing on a full degree because of the potential for it to be an actual career for some.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of career, because sometimes when you hear the word influencer, it has a negative connotation. Do you really think that that can be an actual career path moving forward later on down the road? And I know some influencers, and they make more money than most people. So what are your thoughts on that?
Actually, a lot of content creators or influencers now earn more than celebrities.
Yeah.
So that's why it's something that a lot of people would want to do. And the access to it is very easy. You just start your own account in any social media platform, and that's where you start creating and posting your content. So it's actually something that a lot of people can do in the future. But the thing is, it can go both ways. It can be in your favor, or it can, you know, not pan out for you. It really depends on how you plan your content. Like, you can see that, you know, some people, they would just post random things and it will actually blow up. And other people would really curate their posts, and it's just garnering like what, 500 views. So there are a lot of things to consider if someone is really considering to be a full-time content creator.
And can you explain some of those things to consider?
Yeah, so one of the things that they need to consider is consistency. Can you actually post content on your platform every day or on a certain timeline that can you follow that? And at the same time, your brand, like, do you have a certain branding for yourself? Are you gonna be like someone who's gonna be authentic online? Are you gonna reveal so much of your life, or just a little of your life? Are you gonna portray a persona? So a lot of things come into play, but I think there is a lot of space for people to be content creators, but you really need to be dedicated in order for it to become a viable a career for you.
Yeah, you know, I just found out that in order for your posts to be viral on TikTok, you have to post at least once to thrice every day.
Wait,
so 3 posts in a day. Yeah,
TikTok
for you
herself.
to. Yeah, because
Yeah.
so when I found that out, I mean, I like, okay, so I have to post two stuffs or two posts every day,
yeah.
right? So it's crazy.
Yeah, so that's where the consistency comes into play. So like your audience wouldn't really know who you are unless you post every day or twice a day, because that's where they'll know, like, is this person worthy of my follow?
Yeah.
Or like, is this person resonating with who I want to follow or what I want to watch online? So you really need to kind of figure out who your audience is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to consider before you actually like even get a degree.
Yeah. The content, though, is it? I know we're going to go deep into the weeds here, but then the type of content you post on Instagram, the type of content you post on TikTok, how different do they have to be? How similar are they? Can they translate the same way in either platform?
So it depends on how you actually want the platforms to act for you. So some people, they post the same thing and it works for them. But some people, they actually have they distinguish each platform and they serve different audiences.
Yeah.
Like for example, I do know content creators who make English only content on Instagram because they want to reach an international audience through their Instagram platform. And TikTok is their only Philippine-only content. So it's mostly Tagalog.
Because geographic,
Yeah.
the geography matters, right? Because
Yes.
TikTok, mainly if you're in the Philippines, your audience is actually going to be
Yes,
a Filipino.
yes.
But then Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, is a bit wider.
Yes, it's wider. Even in TikTok, it's actually wider. But then again, TikTok's algorithm, it really plays a big role in terms of like you as a content creator and you as a consumer as well. Depends on what you consume and what you interact with. But yes, geography really plays a big role in terms of like the content that you want to push out in the different platforms.
All right,
that
so
you
before
have.
we get out of a tangent here, because we were talking about the formal degree, and then
Yes.
of course, when you think of someone taking this as an undergrad, it's more about you making this your profession
Yes.
going forward. Is this now a viable career choice, a long-term sustainable career choice after getting an undergrad for, let's say, like, if I'm not mistaken, 4 years yung sa university overseas?
For me, actually, it's a viable career choice. But I don't think you should limit yourself to just being a content creator after taking the degree. Because you can do a lot of things after, like, I mean, aside from being a content creator, you can be a consultant for different brands. I mean, of course, a degree will actually help you. It will give you more information as to how you can navigate social media. But then again, luck also kind of plays a big role, and at the same
Yes.
time, your likability online. You might know everything, but your personality might not translate well on social media. So there's that. But if ever you take this degree and you know social media content creation, like as you as a person, doesn't really pan out, you can have other options. Like agencies are actually looking for people who can work with influencers or content creators, and at the same time, brands are actually looking for in-house people who can actually do content for them. And it's not like, you know, a lot of brands actually do have personalities online. Like they put a persona on their brand, so you can actually act as that persona for the brand on social media. So there are a lot of other options aside from you yourself being a content creator if you get that degree. But of course, it depends on how open-minded you are.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Does trending matter?
Yes and no. So for me, actually, authenticity matters. Depending on how authentic you are to your audience, how authentic you are on your content. Because at the end of the day, you actually your audience will see how true you are. Like for example, if I put out content on my platform, like will someone figure out that I'm faking it? If I'm actually faking it, or if I'm being true to myself, I know that some people share the same thoughts that I have or that I put out. So that's what I want to like harbor in the audience that I'm building. So for me, if like let's say I make a video and it doesn't trend, it doesn't go viral, but I know that I get a lot of reactions or shares to DMs, or like they say, hey, this is funny, this happens in real life, then for me, that's authenticity that matters more for me.
Okay.
Because you actually relate to people.
So would you say authenticity is the key to standing out if people want to become content creators?
Yes, I think now the audience is smart. Like you can't fake it anymore. Before, you know, when people were trying to figure out what social media is, maybe, but now a lot of audiences, there are a lot of content creators out there. Before it was like slim pickings.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now like they have an option to choose like who to follow. There are like millions of content creators. So authenticity is your key to connect to people, because if you're not connecting to your audience, then why become a content creator? Like, do you even deserve the name influencer? Are you actually even influencing anyone?
Is it oversaturated?
I don't think it's oversaturated, but I think it's more of we do need to see more quality content online, because it's so easy. The barrier to entry is so low. But then again, you can actually pinpoint who's creating good content and who's creating just okay content.
But you know what? Sometimes it can be really unpredictable.
Yes.
Like the most random post about something, I don't know, something so light. It gets so many likes
and views,
right?
yes.
And views. And then sometimes the intelligent posts, they get konti lang,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So it's
that's
really
true.
unpredictable.
Actually, with, of course, the rise of the Gen Z, it's their generation who's like the randomest. They do like things that are so random, there's no explanation, versus millennials, like, oh, they like things that are well thought of.
So what do you do about that? You know, kasi unpredictable talaga yung internet. You don't know if this will click and this will not.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of it, right? Like
Uh-huh.
you can actually experiment. So a lot of people, of course, like in terms of like the brands and all that, they take it quite seriously. But then again, the random viral things, it's more of like a reminder to kind of just experiment and enjoy the space.
For those who are aspiring to be influencers or who are starting in that journey, a lot of them can get hung up on the number of views,
Yes.
which is understandable.
Yeah.
If looking from a brand perspective, though, since you do work with both brands and influencers, are those still the metrics? 'Cause that's the first number you see
Yes.
when you see their post. Is that something that really is considered, or is it really the engagement or the tone, or I don't know what is considered?
So the good thing now is that before, brands are very, very adamant that, okay, you need to have a certain number of followers. But now brands are actually looking at engagement. So let's say if you have like 5,000 followers, but you get at least like 20% of your following engaging in your posts. Like each post, they do share, they comment. That's something that they look into, and at the same time, they see like the quality of the comments that you get. So it's really more of the engagement that they're after, because like, for example, if we do get someone who has like millions of like followers, but then again, their engagement is so low, like you can still tap that content creator, but then again, you're just after the reach that they can provide you. But you also have these content creators that they might have a low following, but their engagement is so high, then you want these people to be working with your brand so that they can actually gain more like talkies, or like they can gain more engagement about the brand. So there are a lot of things that come into play. So it's actually a better like space now for content creators, because the following is not the only thing that's important.
Yeah, because it's so
Engagement
hard
as
to
well.
grow your
Yes,
following,
yeah.
right?
So engagement plays a big role now.
You're a content creator yourself. What are your tips on, how to make your posts more engaging? And you really want your, followers to send you messages.
Actually, that's Anne asking you that question for
It's
herself.
for her. Actually, for me, because as Paolo said, I told Paolo earlier that I do content creation for fun. So it's actually my break from work, but I do plan out my content. So
Okay.
I write a long list on my phone. Like when an idea pops up, it goes directly on that list.
Okay.
And then I kind of like think about it for a while, like if it makes sense, or sometimes I check the idea with friends. Like, does this make sense? Do you resonate with it? Or is this funny? So that's how I actually try to make engaging videos. But sometimes it's just the randomest idea that I think of and like shoot it and put it out there. So I think it's really more of just putting more content out there and see what works and what's not.
Trixie,
and what doesn't.
we learned so much. Anne is going to bring you home, have a long car ride, get stuck in traffic.
You're going to be my new best friend, Trixie.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you being here. And of course, we hope to have you on sometime again soon to learn more about all this. Thank you.
I'm going to follow you all and see the content that you guys
my
make.
God.
Our friendship will be defined by social media.
Right now.
Now I really need Trixie's help, so we'll talk after the show.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys learned a little something, but we've also got more in store for you because after the break, a farmer is out to prove that apples can indeed thrive in the Philippines. That conversation is up next. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Let's check out the traffic. And on our road check at this hour, let's take a look at EDSA Orense over near Makati. Of course, on the left side, vehicles are going to Makati, while on the right, vehicles are headed to Shaw Boulevard. Traffic going to Makati has slowed down to a crawl, so do watch out for that, while it is still looking good going northbound. Now let's move on over to the Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City. Let's take a look at the situation there. On the left, vehicles going to Sandigan Bayan, a bit more free-flowing. On the right side, vehicles headed to QC Memorial Circle. As you can see, there's actually a counterflow lane moving on the left-hand side, wherein traffic is moving a bit smoother there, but still it has slowed down to a crawl there as well. So if you're traveling around that area, do plan your trip appropriately.
Now, Mount Fuji, Japan's iconic peak, is breaking records this October, remaining snow-free longer than ever before. Normally, snow starts to form by early October, but this year, the mountain summit stayed bare due to unusually warm temperatures. Experts believe that lingering summer heat and warm ocean waters are keeping the snow away, washing away any flakes that do fall. It's the longest stretch without snow in over 130 years, marking a new milestone for the majestic mountain. This is climate change.
Yeah.
For people that don't believe climate change is
This
a
is
thing,
it. You're
it's
seeing it.
real.
Yeah.
I mean, not just the snow in Mount Fuji, but everything happening in the world.
The
floods in Valencia,
Spain,
everything.
yes.
I mean, you just take a look at what we're experiencing here in the country. We're seeing more typhoons coming in. The intensity is a bit stronger. There are areas in the country kung saan typically wala talagang flooding doon, and all of a sudden bumabaha doon. They're not ready for the situation. So climate change is real, and there are people who are trying to make efforts to go green, do better. Net zero carbon is very hard to do, but then minimizing the carbon emissions, I think, would go a long way.
I mean, do you think what those people are doing are enough to help?
I don't think it's enough yet. But then, the efforts just have to keep on growing. I mean, we're seeing a lot of things from the Philippines starting to adopt more electric vehicles, more legislation with regards to EV, more green energy efforts happening as well. I mean, will it change overnight? Probably not.
Right, it's going to be a while, but I hope something changes, because it was crazy when I went to Japan, I think last month. Normally we go every year at the same time, and normally it's cool, that's why we go. But this year it was hot.
Yeah, dapat nagbagyo ka na lang, no?
Actually, it would have been cooler in Baguio. Baguio, Japan.
All these weather phenomenon. And I remember when I went to the Japan, it was supposed to be sakura season, and the blooms were supposed to be, everywhere already. But when we got there, we were seeing buds. They were not in full bloom. So the sakura season got delayed by like a month or two.
Yeah, the last time I was in Japan was during the pandemic, so all I saw was my hotel room. But
I hope you had a great view in your hotel room.
No, really, actually, but I was there for the Olympics back then, and the temperature there was it was not so bad. We weren't there in time wherein we could really see the impact of climate change. But then, yeah, we're seeing more and more stories on social media na grabe ang init na daw sa Japan. It's not as cold as it usually is. And the snow, I think, is a big part of it.
Well, speaking of how hot it is here in the Philippines, apples are actually really hard to grow here in the Philippines. But don't worry, we got you covered because due to the country's tropical climate, they aren't traditionally grown on a large scale, like I mentioned, because of how hot it is. So most apples come from countries like the US, China, New Zealand, and Australia, filling shelves in supermarkets and markets across the nation. However, a breakthrough came when Benzone Kennedy Sepe proved that apples can indeed thrive in the Philippines. He successfully planted apple trees on his farm, and not only did they grow, but they also blossomed with fruit. And his success has sparked hope that one day the Philippines might be able to grow its own apples, reducing reliance on imports and bringing a fresh local twist to this globally loved fruit. And to tell us more about this exciting development, we're thrilled to have Benzone joining us live via Zoom. Good morning. It's a beautiful day.
Hello, Benzone.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning po.
Good morning.
Yes.
You know what? I'm really happy that you're bringing apples here in the Philippines because in the US where I grew up, normally around this time we go apple picking because it's fall. And now I can say I can go apple picking in your farm in the Philippines. This is me inviting myself to your farm, by the way. So how did you actually get started and how did you discover that grafting could be possible here in the Philippines?
Yes, ma'am. The story of my apple farming here in the Philippines started, I think it's out of curiosity. I started planting apples here in Kapatagan from seeds, from Fuji apple seeds. So dun po ako nag-start. Maybe way back 2013, I started apple growing here from seeds. And then eventually, namunga po siya after 5 years. So that time, I was given a chance to travel in South Korea before. And then nakita ko po doon na meron silang mga tinatanim na mga tropical fruit, like for example ng mangga sa mga greenhouse nila. So sabi ko sa sarili ko, why not produce apple in the Philippines? So pagbalik ko po dito, meron na po akong 1-year-old na apple doon dito sa area, grown from seed. Yan po nakikita sa video, yan po yung pinakauna. So sabi ko, why not po pag-8? So 2018, nag-start po siyang mamunga until nakapag-harvest na rin po ako noon. And then sabi ko, i-must propagate ko na po itong mga apples ko dito sa Kapatagan. Until such time, from 540 square meter, I have around with 30 apple trees ngayon, meron akong 2 farm extension which is around mga nasa 500 apple trees na po yung nakitanim ko.
Wow! Benzone, what are the challenges? Kasi iba yung climate natin here in the Philippines, right? So what were the main challenges that you faced in using grafting to cultivate apples here in the country?
Yes, so far, sa Philippines naman po, even those fruits na mga tropical are producing through grafting na rin po. Like for example, yung mga durian. So hindi na po ba Pilipinas ang grafting. So sa Philippines kasi, ang isa sa pinaka-challenge ko is there's no study about apples na makikita natin sa internet. So wala po tayong pagbabasihan na about propagation ng apple. So it's a self-learning lang po talaga, and then nag-start po akong mag-scan sa mga internet about growing apples in the tropical areas. And tapos nakita ko po sa bandang Africa, sa Kenya, na they are producing apples. And meron na rin po silang sariling variety. It was called Wambugo apple. So it is tested for tropical countries, like for example dito sa Philippines. Sa Kenya nga, mas mainit pa yata sila, and then they are producing apples na. And ang produce nila is na-import na, ini-export na nila sa Europe, something like that. So, sabi ko, why not produce here in the Philippines? Mas maganda yung climate natin dito. Meron, dito ako sa may bandang Mount Apo, which is, I think, suitable din po siya for apple growing kasi medyo may kalamigan compare po siya sa ibang lugar dito sa Pilipinas. By which, ano naman po, very challenging kasi yung apple is need niya ng at least 7 to 12 degrees na temperature is dito sa Pilipinas, even sa area ko po na medyo mataas na, so hindi po umaabot ng ganun kataas, kababa yung temperature. So it is quite challenging sa pagtatanim ng apple, but yet, ang apple kasi is a tree, so kung saan po siya nakatanim, parang nag-a-adjust rin po yung mga apples kung saan sila. Like for example, ay tatanim natin sila sa tropical, so nag-a-adjust po sila. Mumunga. So sa grafting naman po, yung mga existing mga varieties po dito, like for example yung from Fuji apple seeds na namumunga, na kinukunan po siya ng mga sayon. Tapos nagpapatubo ako pa rin po ako ng mga seeds or yung markot, tapos kinakabit ko po doon sa sa rootstock. So hindi na po bago sa Pilipinas ang grafting. So nagpa-practice na rin po tayo doon sa mga tropical area, sa tropical fruit I mean.
Benzone, we're running out of time in just a bit, but then before we let you go, syempre we want to know more about yung future plans mo with regards sa yung orchards mo. May demand ba para sa local apples? May kaibahan ba in terms of yung lasa? And of course, what do you want to do to expand this and let people know na, may local tayo na apples dito sa Pilipinas?
Yes po, sir. Yan din po yung isa sa mga problema. Kasi more on imports, millions of dollars are being imported for fruits dito sa Pilipinas. So wala tayong player na kumbaga walang sarili nating produce, like for example sa mga mansanas, oranges, so halos lahat po mga import, by which pwede naman tayong mag-produce dito sa Pilipinas. So nakatoka lang po kasi tayo into mga typical crops natin, so hindi natin alam na pwede rin po pala tayong divert into other crops na pwede, halos lahat po ng fruit, tropical and nasa temperate areas ay kaya pong mabuhay and mamunga dito sa ating area. By which, meron din po akong plums, cherries, pears, and other temperate fruit na tinatanim na rin po dito and producing. So, dun po sasabi ni sir sa market, nung namunga po yung mga apples ko dito, I was being asked by a vendor in Divisoria, I think. So, gusto niya mag-order ng 8 packs just kaso wala pa ako ganun kadaming produce. So, the apples here are parang pang tourist and then for fruit picking. So, yun na muna. So, ngayon kasi na meron na tayong 2 farm na eventually magiging at least man lang dito sa area po sa city of Digos is makaproduce po ako ng locally grown na apples from Kapatagan. And eventually baka kung papalarin is makakaabot po ng Luzon and other parts of Philippines po yung fruit natin.
Now, Benzone, before we go, I'm so curious, how does the apple you've grown taste like? Because you mentioned that it's Fuji. It's a Fuji variety. So is it similar to the Fuji apple or is it, I don't know, what does it taste like?
Yung fruit ko po dito was tested by bricks doon sa school namin. So it was being test sa sugar level niya. So eventually lumabas, mas mataas po yung sugar level. Mas matamis po yun ang apple na produce dito. By which umabot po yata ng 17.5 yung bricks ng apple dito sa Kapatagan. At ang pinakamataas or pinaka-excellent na bricks ng apple is 18. So parang 0.5 na lang aabot na tayo sa excellent na Tapos tinest po namin, kinumpare namin sa mga apple Fuji na nasa market from, I think from China. So mas mataas po talaga yung sugar level or yung tamis ng apple dito.
Well, that sounds delicious. I can't wait to try.
In other words, Benzone, magpadala ka daw. Oo.
We would love to taste
I
those
love apples,
Yeah.
so I'm so excited.
Kasi ang apples talaga, they choose kung ano yung pinaka-sweet, right? So Benzone, thank you so much for joining us today. Benzone Kennedy Sepe, ladies and gentlemen. Now, looking to plan your vacation leaves next year, we have got you covered. We will help you plot out your 2025 calendar as early as now after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. welcome back. You are still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, 2025 is fast approaching, and if you're raring to plan your revenge vacation after working tirelessly this 2024, here are the long weekends in 2025 that you can plan your getaways around. But please, don't tell your bosses that this idea came from us, okay? Flashed on your screens are the dates. In January, there's a 5-day long weekend around the New Year's, while in April, long rest awaits during Holy Week. Meanwhile, in May, there is an opportunity to file a leave after Labor Day to enjoy a 4-day off. Wow. The same is true for June, where you can file a leave on Friday the 13th after Independence Day.
Now, August is also looking good to get a taste of the work-life balance. On August 21, we have Ninoy Aquino Day on Thursday and National Heroes Day on Monday, meaning it's smart to spend your leave on August 22nd, Friday. Now, in November, you've got the long weekend of All Saints Day as well as Bonifacio Day. December is the season to be jolly as per usual. First on the weekend is the Feast of the Immaculate Conception of Mary on the 8th. And of course, back-to-back holidays around Christmas and New Year's season. So knock yourself out. Plan your holidays smartly, get the most with your time, and have a beautiful and restful break.
Now, speaking of making plans, here's an interesting question that boggled generations and maybe even upended some supposed love stories. Who should pay on the first date? Okay, sinong babayad muna? Is it the guy or the girl, the one who asks the other one out, or
First
simply
date?
split the bill?
This is very opinionated, so I
Yeah.
think it's a per basis question, but if
Depends if it's a good date.
Wait. So when you say depends on a good date, so if your date goes badly, Pao, you'll make the girl pay?
No, okay, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what
so you
Kasi
will.
joke lang yun. Okay?
Sure, are you sure? You got caught on air.
No. I think personally, history would say that I normally pay for the first date.
I hope so.
But then, kasi I guess it's because I'm the one asking rin eh. Typically, I
Okay.
ask. But then, how about you girls?
I'm
What do you
very
think?
old school. I like the guy paying the first date.
First
Pero like,
date,
I mean, like
yes.
obviously, eventually now, like whoever lang. Like I don't think the guy should be paying every time because kawawa naman the guy.
So
So unless sugar daddy mo.
Yeah, we're talking about-
that's a different.
We're talking about first dates. So, lalo na here in the Philippines, very old-fashioned, very conservative. So, normally the guys would pay for the first dates.
But what
Then
if the
after
girl
that,
asks the guy out, or asks the partner out, rather?
Well, maybe if it's the girl asking, then maybe
you will pay.
I always offer naman.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
have to offer, right?
I always
Yeah,
offer.
yeah.
I'd be like, hey, do you want to split the bill? And obviously, they'd be like, no, I got you.
Gagawan pa kayo
Thank you
ng
so
check,
much.
ng bill,
Hindi, wala
diba?
nang gano'n.
Right.
Lalabas
Let
lang
me
natin
take
yung
my
wallet,
card.
yeah. Get her
Yes.
wallet. Like, you want to split the bill?
My empty wallet, wala palang card.
Grabe. Oh, no, but then, I think it also still depends on possibly whoever asks the person out.
Yeah.
And especially if they invite the person to a certain place and say baka above the budget of the other person.
Yeah,
I
I
think
guess-
that those are things that you have to consider also.
Yeah, times are changing.
Yeah,
and
that's
girls
true.
are more prone to paying now, I think, with everything happening, which I don't mind. But
But if you ask me if I go out on a first date, I want the guy to pay.
I think it depends. I think it really depends. I get your point. I get your
Yeah.
points, but I think it
well,
really...
we're super divided. So if you guys are watching right now on Facebook and YouTube, let us know in the comments. You have our social media handles, I think,
Yes.
on the screens earlier. Let us know what you think. Should the guy or girl pay on the first date? Tag us. No violent reactions, please. We will read it after the show.
I really think I'll get haters after that. But we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this Wednesday morning, November the 6th. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Thank you very much for joining us here today.
And I am Anne Asis-Carilo, sending love and good vibes your way.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Stay safe, and we hope you have a good start to your day. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, 7 a.m. only here on
It's a beautiful day.